Good morning, South African wine lovers, and welcome to our morning live stream. This morning we are again talking bubbly, and I'm starting off with a quote. There are approximately 49 million bubbles in a standard size bottle of MCC, but unlike diamonds or pearls, the tinier the bubble, the better. As you guys know, we've got Cap Classique Day coming up on the 1st of September. We've been talking about that every morning and in the evenings for a while. And yesterday, I actually interviewed quite a few of our premier um, Cap Classique producers. And of course, the granddaddy and the biggest of them all is Graham Beck. I spoke to Peter Ferreira, also known as Bubbles Ferreira. He's the cellar master at Graham Beck, and we actually had a very nice conversation. This podcast will be published on the 1st of September on Cup Classique Day. And like I said, we are celebrating our MCC and our MCC producers. So, that is fantastic. Thanks again to Graham Beck for actually doing the podcast and recording it. And if you want to do something special for the 1st of September, why not grab a bottle of this fantastic bubbly and add that to the flowers that you're going to send to your loved one? That would be a fantastic gift for the day. Then, just before we go on to the other announcements, uh, we still have a few days left. 4 days. There's 4 days left on the Fishwives Club lockdown special. You can still get 45% off. It ends on the 31st of August 2020, or when they run out of stock. We've got in the special, they have a bottle of sorry, 6 bottles of Merlot, a case of Merlot, a case of Sauvignon Blanc, also 6 bottles, and you get 45% off. It's delivered to your home via express courier. So a great special from the Fishwives Club. You can go to fishwivesclub.gr8.com. That is fishwivesclub.gr8.com, and get your 45% off special there. But now back to MCC Day. Like I said, the 1st of September, we're celebrating our Cup Classique. And please take part by using the hashtag Cup Classique when you post pictures of yourself drinking any of your fantastic bubblies made in South Africa. I've podcasted 6 of the top producers of Cap Classique, and all these podcasts will be scheduled and published on the 1st of September. So we're having a big celebration. We'll be going live and publishing this all day long in the group. And what we need from you guys as consumers is to please come in and put post pictures of you opening your bubbly, or videos, and just use the hashtag Cap Classique Day. And if you want to find places to find bubblies, just go to our page bit.ly/findmcc. That's bit.ly/findmcc. Then the next thing is our 60 in 60 campaign. As you guys know, we've been pushing this campaign, and this is starting on the 30th of August, where we are really going to try to push to help our producers of wine. As you guys know, we've been celebrating the last few days. Everybody's giving wine, but our producers are still having a torrid time. And we will be featuring one South African wine producer a day for 60 days, starting on the 30th of August until the 28th of October. So this is quite a long campaign, and there's going to be, we want you to support as many of these producers as you can, and use the hashtag 60 in 60. We need you to follow, we need you to share, we need you to buy some of the wine. If you can't buy all 60 producers, at least buy from some of them. If you can buy from each of the 60 producers, that would even be more fantastic. So, but we need your help. And we need you to use these hashtags. Hashtag 1660, hashtag Save SA Wine, hashtag Drink South African. And just to give you guys some perspective, here is why we need your help. Due to the recent nationwide prohibition of alcohol, it was estimated by WinPro, the industry body, that over 90% of our wineries are in trouble. They have cash flow problems, and some of them can't pay their wages. The entire wine industry could lose more than 15% of our wineries. That would be horrible. 12.6% of our grape growers could go out of business. And that means job losses of more than 18,000 people over the next year and a half. So this is why we are doing this campaign, to try to stop these job losses or to create new jobs if we can in the industry. Wine tourism as an industry has a loss of 2.5 billion rand in revenue between March and July 2020. You know, as you guys know, wine tourism is one of the biggest income earners in the country, and you know, the lockdown just affected it so badly. The wine industry is sitting on a 300 million liter surplus of wine, and there's a harvest coming, and you know, this will add to the challenges that the industry already faces. And this was a stat quoted by Rico Besson from WinPro. Although the domestic ban lifted on the 18th of August, there's 5 months of damage which is done, and it's putting the nail in the coffin of many wine producers. So please, please, please help us by posting every single day in the group. Invite more people. If every single person here invites 2 people, we'll be at 100,000. And use these hashtags. Hashtag 1660, hashtag Save SA Wine, and hashtag Drink South African. We are, like I said, we are starting on the 30th of August until the 28th of October. And this is going to be a fantastic campaign, but we need your help. If you are looking for a free listing for your Winelands business, go to bit.ly / find SA Wine. And if you're a consumer and you want to find SA Wine in your area, please go there as well. That's bit.ly / find SA Wine. And then I have a task for you guys. The task for the next few days is to share your favorite wine quote. Mine for the morning is, they said, do what you love and the money will follow. So I poured a glass of wine and now I'm waiting. Obviously, this is a bit tongue in the cheek. We would love to have your wine quotes or your wine sayings or your wine jokes posted to our group. So please do that. You know, the more engagement we can create, the more awareness we can create, and we can also have a bit of fun, right? I mean, everything doesn't have to be doom and gloom. Our featured podcast for this morning is I'm talking to Kelly Zettler of the Thirsty Scarecrow Farm Stall in Stellenbosch. You can go out to the Thirsty Scarecrow. You can go enjoy a glass of wine or a glass of even some craft beers. Fantastic place to visit. And I had a great conversation with Kelly. Please log in tonight at 7 o'clock for our evening show. We will have more announcements and also more things happening. But without further ado, let's listen to the interview with Kelly Zettler of the Thirsty Scarecrow. And if you can, make a plan to go down to Stellenbosch and visit. Welcome to About the Winelands. In this show, we will be chatting to leaders, influencers, wine producers, restaurants, and other role players. Tune in every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday for our latest episodes. You will find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram TV, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast. Welcome back to About the Winelands. Today I'm talking to Kelly Zettler from the Thirsty Scarecrow. Welcome, Kelly. How are you?
Thank you, Will. Thank you. I'm very well under the circumstances.
Yes, I mean, obviously, being in the restaurant industry, this is, and in the wine industry, this is difficult for you. But let's start and tell us how you got involved in this industry. You know, how did you get involved in the wine, restaurant, hospitality industry yourself?
My passion for the industry actually comes from my mom. As a child, our home was, always filled with food, enough to feed an army. With 3 fridges and 17 freezers, she was always well prepared. Um, I used to watch her cook all the time, and I was never allowed to cook myself. Moms always say too many cooks spoil the broth. Um, and she used to complain that I made a mess. But I actually first studied visual communication at Stellenbosch University, fine arts. And after I graduated, like any student, I was a little bit nervous to go out into the real world. And I begged my mom and dad to allow me to go study at the Institute of Culinary Arts, which was actually just down the road from us at Speed. And yeah, an additional 2 years, and I got my diploma in chefing. And shortly after graduating, my dad was actually renting out the property on the farm. It was running as a coffee shop, but the tenants were in arrears. And they said to me, look, now's your opportunity. You either do something, otherwise, we're going to give the spot away. So I got thrown into the deep end, but it was a good decision nonetheless. So actually in 2011, thus the Farmer's Kitchen was born and established. And shortly after that, in 2013, I started the Thirsty Scarecrow, and I met my husband-to-be, Ivan, and we've been running the Thirsty Scarecrow ever since. Craft beer was always up and coming thing, and the conversation between my family basically went along the lines of, let's build a craft beer pub, and the following day we were laying the foundation.
I mean, it's certainly become very popular, a popular spot in the last few years. So yeah, you've made a good decision.
Yeah, no, it's we've been very blessed, and it's grown beyond what I ever thought it would. We started as an 80-seater restaurant, and now we can accommodate about 500 people.
So you guys on the R44 there at the Mooiberger stall. Is Mooiberger part of the Thirsty Scarecrow business, or is it a separate business?
So it's a completely separate entity. Although Mooiberger is obviously a family farm, I am a born and bred Zetler, but I run my restaurants as a completely separate entity, and I actually rent the property from my dad.
Well, it's such a history. Can you tell us a little bit of the? I mean, it's always interesting to hear, where you are and stuff like that. Tell us a bit of the history of Mooiberger and what you got, what's been done there as well.
Well, the history goes back quite a while. I think it was in 1909, my great-grandfather, Mendel Zetler, he actually opened up a general dealer store on the corner road, and he was selling fruit and veg. And, back in the day, strawberries, they were only available 3 months of the year. I think the first strawberries were actually planted in 1915. And what my grandfather would do is he would actually purchase all the strawberries from the local farmers in the area, and he would transport that via ox wagon to Paarl and send, and I think he got, if I remember correctly, my dad said he got a penny a pound for the strawberries.
Wow.
So things have changed a lot, and with new farming methods today, we're quite spoiled because we have strawberries 8 months of the year. It was in 1970 that Mooiberger itself, the actual farm store, was built. And it became very well known for its dried fruits, preserves, nuts, and local produce. And I think what Mooiberger is really known for today is its huge wine store, which stocks about over 250 estates. And that was built in 2000. But during that process, it actually took 30 years for my dad to obtain the liquor license for Mooiberger.
Wow.
Well, I tell you what,
Yeah.
that store is one of those places that I used to love to visit, because you always used to find some the lost old bottle of wine there at a cheap price somewhere. If you did, I'm not sure. I've been there, actually been there for a while in the actual wine store. So, but I always used to find something that's hidden under a shelf at a good price there.
As my dad says, customers are always looking for a bargain.
Oh, so this was on purpose. Hmm. So the scarecrows that you have there is quite interesting. Tell us a little bit of the history of the scarecrow. And it seems, it's like it's become an institution on that road.
Well, the first scarecrows were actually put up on the farm in 1968, and they've changed a lot from how we know them today. The original scarecrows used to be the traditional poplap scarecrows, which was actually made by one of the ladies who worked on the farm for us, Mrs. Liebenberg. And to this day, she's retired now, but she actually still lives on the farm. So obviously the scarecrows were originally put up to scare the birds away because they were eating all the strawberries. And I don't think we would have ever imagined that they would have become so popular over the years. But obviously, with the traditional style of scarecrows that were made from material, the costs to maintain them were quite high, with the wear and tear and buying new material every year. So it was actually my dad, Dennis, who came up with the idea to make the first scrap metal scarecrow. And I think that was put up in 1990 or 1991. He just had plenty of scrap metal lying around, and he thought it was a good idea. And he's a avid art collector, and I don't know, he seems to come up with all these crazy and wonderful ideas. And from scarecrows that represent the big five to the soccer World Cup 2010, to even our controversial rugby teams with the bull and the zebra.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say too much about the bull and zebra. If you drive past the road, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I've been there.
Maybe this year he'll have scarecrows. He'll release an edition with masks on. I don't know.
It's actually, it's quite a nice advertising board for your restaurant, right? So when visitors come to your restaurant and you've got to basically tell us what visitors can expect. What is your theme and your what do you want the thirsty scarecrow to represent, and what can visitors expect there?
I think that the setting itself is very unique in the Winelands. When you come to the Thirsty Scarecrow, you'll be greeted by quirky and colorful scarecrows. And, in season, you'll have the most delicious strawberries bursting with flavor, do your own picking in the fields. I think the unique spot really creates this perfect environment for a laid back, vibey atmosphere. And obviously we have the most delicious beer-based pizzas and craft beer on tap. And as you sit back on the deck, you can enjoy a cocktail, a beer, or be it a glass of wine. And for me, my favorite part is when the sun begins to set on the perfect day. You can see the mountains and they just begin to turn this purple color, and there's no other view like it.
That's very, very true. And I mean, you guys are always full on those those sunset evenings. So what are your times that you are actually open?
We are open 7 days a week. The Farmer's Kitchen is open from 7:30 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. Well, 5 in the afternoon. And the Thirsty Scarecrow is open Mondays and Tuesdays. We open at 3 o'clock till closing. And the rest of the week we open from 11 a.m. till closing.
So what is your closing time?
Kitchen closes at 10 and the bar closes around 11.
Okay, so not too. You don't have a serious nightlife crowd. It's quite.
No. Being out on the farm, we're not we're not aiming to be a Stellenbosch Joel, you know, that's not our vibe.
Yeah, no, understood, and so I understand that. And talking about vibe, do you sometimes have live music events and stuff like that?
We don't. We've done a little bit of live music in the past, but it's not something we really do. We might consider it in the future, but obviously we do need to adhere to strict regulations set down by the Stellenbosch municipality. So we just want to be in accordance with regulations.
So, I mean, your interest seems to very much in the craft beers. Where does that come from, and what can you tell us something interesting about the beers?
You know, we have 55 taps at our establishment. I don't know another restaurant with as many taps as us. And, you know, I'm pretty sure at some point we've sold every type or style of beer there is to sell, you know, from APAs to wit beers to gluten-free, stouts, porters, Weiss, Saison, you name it, you know. We've even had a beer with a 41% alcohol content, which sold for over R1,000 a bottle. We actually, it's very difficult to get the stock in. I think within 2 weeks we were sold out, you know.
Well, that must be close to South Africa's most expensive beer, right?
Yes, it is. I don't think it's available in the country at the moment. Since we got it in, we had it in a few years ago, and we've been struggling to get it in since. So, but you know, we always looking for new and exciting beers, and always encouraging new upcoming breweries to, you know, to put in a visit, come chat to us. You know, besides the local craft that we do, we've obviously got imported beers as well from all over the world, you know, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, Japan, UK, Spain. So yeah, we big on craft.
So how did you build up this collection? I mean, it must have been quite a bit of work to get up to that level.
Yeah, you know, we started the business with 16 taps, and like I said, it was an 80-seater restaurant, and we were very blessed from the beginning. I still remember the first day, myself and my husband, we were standing on the side of the road, you know, we were handing out flyers, you know, we had no customers, and we just, for days and weeks, you know, we had no business. And, you know, there we were at the R44 robots handing out flyers. And eventually, after a few months, it just took off and people started to hear about us, word of mouth, which I still believe is the best type of advertising.
Absolutely.
And eventually, we couldn't accommodate everyone, and we decided to expand. And so over the years, the menu grew and the taps grew, and yeah, we've just been so blessed.
It's an awesome story. We at the moment we're sitting with, you know, a bit of a crisis with the coronavirus and everything, and obviously for a restaurant like yourself, this is a big headache. So, and the coronavirus are forcing everyone to rethink their business models. Do you have any new ideas or changes in mind?
At the moment, we're doing what we can do. We are open for deliveries, and we're selling a few grocery items. I think it's difficult to say what it might be like in a few months or next year, when there are no restrictions and we can live life as normal. You know, I think it could go one of two ways. I think we could be overwhelmed with locals and tourists and see a boom in travel again, as I'm sure people are just writing off 2020. Or, you know, clientele will be thinking twice about where to spend their money. I think for us, it's important to streamline things with the effects of the virus. I definitely think we will relook our beer menu and possibly cut down on line items, as well as for the food. We might remove some of the menu items, but obviously keep our best sellers. And what I would like to do is I would like to expand on grocery items and offer competitive prices in the market. Maybe create a bit of a deli, you know, in Mooi bagger. I have lots of plans, but it's getting it past the family.
I think that's obviously a challenge, but I think that's a huge opportunity. I've noticed that around that area and in Somerset West, there's a lot of local things popping up online where people are starting to looking at online grocery delivery, grocery deliveries at home and selling stuff online and stuff like
Mm.
that. And it's obviously an opportunity for a farm and a dairy like yourself to do that. I mean, you've had an interesting journey and, struggled to get your business off the ground. And what is the most important thing that you've learned from your journey in this business and, the whole industry?
Well, I think the most important thing I've learned in the industry is to not worry about what everyone else is doing. I think it's important to concentrate on your own business and stick to what you know. Persistence and hard work will pay off, and it's important to always be involved in your business and don't just walk away and sit back. My husband and myself, we're there every single day. Be innovative, keep your customers interested. And one of the most important things that my husband taught me about this business is that turnover is vanity and bottom line is sanity.
Yeah, that is a very true statement. Talking about statements and quotes, I mean, you're in the wineland, so you need to give us a wine quote, or okay, you can cheat. You can give us a beer quote. If you have one.
Well, I like a good glass of wine as well, and because I'm a chef and I love food, I think to conclude any good meal, you need dessert. And like my wine, I like my dessert. So for me, the sweeter the better.
Oh, there you go. Kelly, this was a pleasure. If people want to get hold of you or visit you, or how did they get hold of you guys?
Our landline number is 021 881 3444. Obviously, during lockdown, we won't be there all the time, but they can up orders to 082 549 8800. We're hoping that business returns to normal very soon.
Okay, well, I'll put these numbers and any links you have in your description. But Kelly, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for talking to us. I mean, we love to talk. My mission is to talk to everybody in the Winelands over time. So and I'm certainly going to come have a craft beer there at some point as soon as we have the opportunity to move around again. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very, very much for your time.
Thank you, Will. Thank you so much. And just, sorry, one last point. They can obviously also go visit our Facebook page, The Thirsty Scarecrow, and we're also on Instagram for any updates on the business.
Perfect. Like I said, I'll put all those links in the description. So yeah, thank you very, very much, Kelly.
Thank you for supporting our show. If you would like to get more exposure for your business, please have a look at our sponsorship options. Thanks again for supporting About the Winelands. Please follow us on YouTube and on our social media channels. All details and links are in the description.